So today we are going to talk about an internal another editor. Okay, so which is SCD. So SCD stands for Streamline Editor or Stream Editor. So means, so previously you are editing the files by using vEditor, or you may using Nano Editor or whatever it is. Now I want to edit this particular edit some file or a configuration file by over the script. Okay, over the while running the script. Let's say my requirement is to configure a HTTP configuration. So you both of you are administrators. So I'm giving an administrator example here. Um, here, so basically you need to install the HTTP configuration. So in order to install the HTTP configuration, so what you need to do, have a proper things. You need to have a proper yum configuration setup. Okay, so the first thing is, if you have a yum configuration, that's okay, you can go with. If there is no yum configuration, you need to configure the yum. So in order to configure the yum, so what you require to configure a repo file which is in etc yum.repos.d. So how can you create the file, or how can you edit the existing file? Okay, so by using SCD editor over the command line. So once you set over the repository over there, after installation of HTTPD, assume if you need to change some configuration parameters in the httpd.conf file. Now how do you do that? Again, the editor, you need to edit the file, right? So how can you edit that? So again, the same thing. So using SCD editor, because you are going through scripting, so at any point of time you need to automate. You don't need to have any manual intervention. So that is the main criteria about going with scripting. Okay, so end to end you need to automate the manual task, whatever you are going to do, with all the situations and scenarios included. Okay, so here, okay, so we're going to talk about a couple of commands, almost all the commands, but more which are required actually. So here in the set command, the set syntax is going to be like this. So SCD, and it's like a grep command. Okay, so -e command 1, so which it is going to be in single quotes. So what is this command one is? Sed internal commands. It's not shell commands. Sed itself will have internal commands, and those commands are actually we're going to talk about in the classes now, in this class now. So you have command 2. So like this you have multiple commands, and finally you'll be having a file. Okay, so by default it will not edit the file, it only manipulate the output. Okay, so whatever the output you want to manipulate, it will modify that particular modify that particular output and displays the output, that's all, but it will not edit the file. Whereas if you use, unless you use an option scd-i, so if you give command 1, so this particular command 1 is going to be applied directly on this particular file. So here in this case you will get output, and here in this case you will not get output, because the file is directly modifying, whereas it takes the original file and modifies the output and prints the output, manipulates the output and get the output. So this is what the two things. So -i option is to actually edit the files, so input the files. Now, so previous to SCD command, so SCD is a powerful utility, very powerful utility. It provides a lot of flexibilities. Okay, now set command helps you in this way. Okay, so you want to edit one file, so what you do manually, so you open with vEditor, you do it. Let's say you want to edit 10 files at a time, so how do you do that? Okay, still you can manage. So you want to modify 100 files every minute, so how do you do that? Or every hour you need to modify hundreds of files in your company or in your job, day-to-day job. So how do you do that? It's not at all possible by going with manuals. Okay, so set is going to help you with a lot of options. Okay, by using those particular options and commands, it is possible. Okay, so no need to do manually, or you view all the files at a time, so it can do all the files in parallel, all the changes whatever you need. So usually you don't require to modify that many files, but okay, I'm just giving an example. Now Sed is the latest utility. So prior to sed, actually there used to be an utility called as ed. Okay, so sed has been replaced with ed command. So if you are using a very old Linux operating systems, I don't think so you'll be using those operating systems like Red Hat version 3. Okay, so those kind of versions. If you talk about what we say Unix versions, so Unix versions, very old versions like Solaris 8 and those kind of versions, you usually see ed editor. But okay, so now at least from past 5-7 years, okay, what all the operating systems came up, all those are using scd editor. Not even 7 years, more than 7 years, sorry, around 5-10 years. Okay, so what all the operating system came after 10 years, all is having almost the same editor. So this is famous now. Here, okay, so we're going to talk about the commands. So what are the commands I'm going to talk about is p, print command, d, delete command. So print command you may not usually use, but it helps you in understanding how the set is going to work. Okay, so d is for delete. And what are the next commands? Print, delete, substitute, and a for append, I for insert, c for change. So these are the 6 commands we're going to talk about, and usually these are the 6 regular tasks whatever you do with vEditor. So whenever you open with vEditor, what you do? Will you add content? You go with append. Will you insert content? You'll go with insert. Right? You know, right? You have 2 different options. I think usually you go into vEditor, you press I, which is insert actually. It's not append. So to have it append, actually you need to press O. Okay, so like that. Okay, so change also you have certain options in vEditor. And substitute, okay, so you want to search and replace with something, how do you do that? Okay, so you go and use substitute command, and assume if you require to delete some lines, you go with deleting the lines. So these are the major things whatever you do in general in files, but this helps you in understanding how set is going to work, and sometimes you usually may use it. Depends. Okay. So for that, actually, I already written a small shell script for demonstration purpose. I'm going to use that particular script. Even you can execute your script because I already gave the logins to this particular server. You can just log in and you can execute the script like how I am using for practicing purpose. Now here, if you see, as I already told you, the set is going to be okay. So having its own internal commands, and you'll be having internal file. Now, what if okay? So, what if you have more commands, more and commands? Okay, more and more commands basically, very huge number of commands. So, in that case, I cannot go with -e command 1, -e command 2, -e command 3 like this. Okay, I cannot go with all the commands. Whereas I can put all those commands in a file, command 1, command 2, command 3, all these things, and I can access this particular sed-f file. So wherever the file I have kept these particular commands, I can access that particular commands by using that file.scd and file. Okay, so it will be easy for you. Okay, whenever you are working on very huge, okay, so huge number of files or huge number of okay commands. If you have such requirements, so we usually go with -f option. Now let's start with okay, so the basic print command. Okay, so the basic print command is okay, so sed p employee.txt. So what you are asking is to the set command is print the file. So you are simply giving sed p employee.txt. But yes, it is giving the employee.txt, but if you see on another terminal, let me open another terminal. So it's a simply, okay, it's a simple employee.txt file. It's a simple database file, flat file, text file. So here you can see you have 1011, so total 7 employees. That's fine, and each and every employee, employee number, employee name, and employee designation is given in a line. Okay, with comma as the delimiter between each and every field. Now you see here, okay, it's printing, but every line is actually you're getting double lines. Okay, why you are actually getting double lines? So you need to understand one thing. Whenever you go with set command, so it has three things. Okay, so what is the three things you have is, first one is input stream, and what is the last one is output stream. Input stream, and this is output stream. And so in between what you have is a set, actually workplace or workspace you can say. So there is certain other technical word. Okay, that's fine. So you can call it as, okay, so set workspace. Now what happens over here is, okay, so whenever you have a number of lines, okay, so this is input stream is nothing but the file, whatever you want to run a command. So for the first time what happens is it pulls the first line into the workspace and it performs that particular command on that particular line and it sends to the output stream. Next it goes to the next line, it pulls that line, it works the command whatever needs to be worked on that line, so it sends to the output stream. Now, so here what is the command you are using is, you are using a command called as print. Okay, so print has an additional feature that it can print both the things. What it is printing? It is printing output stream and it is printing workspace. Okay, so print has a capability, and print by default prints both the work. The scope of the print command is it can print both the things. So that's the reason when immediately line pulls into the workspace, it is printing the first line and it is sending to the output stream, then immediately you are getting second line. So for that reason, actually you are getting two lines for each and every line. Okay, so you can disable that particular default behavior by using -n option. Okay, so by using -n command line option in set command, you can disable those duplicate lines. -n I usually remember for easy remembering is -n no noisy output. No noisy output. Okay, so that's how I remembered in my early days, and even I suggest people because -n, okay, so hyphen no noise output, that makes basically, okay, so easy to remember. Now the next one what we are trying to do is, so whatever you can do with the grep command, you can go and do with set command too. So grep Jane from employee.txt, how many lines you are getting? You are getting, okay, one line. So the same thing you are doing, but searching you need to do it in 2 forward slashes. In the last class we talked about in awk command. So how do you search is nothing but in 2 forward slashes you have to give a word to search and you are getting that line. Okay, so your grep command was previously worked how your cat command is working. So if you simply give p enter, okay, so it is going to cat that concatenate the complete file. Now you're doing some things what your grep command can do. Okay, you're searching for Jane and printing, so you're getting the lines where Jane word is found, and also you have two words, let's say, okay, it is going to be two commands now. So search for Jane print and search for demon print, so you're getting two lines now. So you are using two commands. So first command is using -e option, second command is using -e option. So these are the two commands. So you can use a print command, or you can combine one print, one delete, or you can use one print, one substitute. It all depends upon you. Okay, there is no limitation that you have to use only one type of commands in single command. No. Okay, you can use any commands, offset commands. Okay, so on a single set command doesn't bother you anything, doesn't okay, so throw you any error. It actually works that way only. Okay, so the same thing. Okay, so if you put the searches, whatever you are doing previously, jprint, daemon print, all those things in a file, so which is test1.scd, and you search for jprint, daemon print, 107 print, so you are getting those lines. All these three commands are actually loaded by using -f and the file name. Now, so this is the beautiful thing in, okay, so set command. So you want only second line, what you do? Simply 2p. You don't have any command which provides you such durability, okay, uh, like how set command provides you. Okay, so simply 2p, that's all. Okay, you no need to put head, tail, combine, head, tail, come up with some logic. No worries. Simply 2p, that's all. And also, if you would like to get a range, actually, so you have to give 1 comma 4. Comma stands for range. Comma is not differentiating two values here. So if you would like to get a line numbers from 1 to 4, so use, okay, 1 comma 4. And so 2 comma dollar, so 2 comma dollar, so dollar, I already told you what dollar denotes is end of the file. What dollar denotes is end of file, and end of each and every line is also dollar. Okay, so 2 comma dollar means it is going to print from second line to end of the file. It is going to print from second line to end of the file. Now, one tilde symbol too. Okay, so sometimes whenever you write some SQL queries, you may need to get the output. Okay, so which are alternate lines basically. Okay, so if you would like to deal with alternate lines, so you go with a tilde symbol. So what it is doing is it is telling you to print first line, and after first line you print the next immediate second line. So after first line, the immediate next second line is third line. So in third line, what is the next immediate second line is fifth line. Okay, so like that, if you would like to go with printing odd number of lines, you simply use one tilde symbol too. And if you would like to do with and print what we say even number of lines, use two tilde symbol too. Okay, so print command, why I'm especially okay stretching much on print command is it can help you to understand the set command, that's all. Okay, so you may use or you may not use these things in your day-to-day jobs, but okay, at least print command or the remaining commands are regularly used. Now you see the beauty of the, okay, so beauty of this particular set command. So previously you are searching only JSON printing, or else you are giving 1 comma for print. Now you can club both the things and you can do that. Okay,